Over the years, Oregon football has produced many outstanding athletes and individuals. Our next inductee helped set the standard for what a University of Oregon star football player had to have. A true Iron Man in the history of Oregon Duck football, Jim Shanley set a standard for excellence and compiled records that have lasted for 50 years. He was a two-way stalwart on Len Casanova's breakthrough teams of the mid-50s for 3 years, playing nearly every play of every game at halfback and defensive back. Shanley was named All-Pacific Coast Conference every year, reset the school career rushing record with 1,887 yards gained, and scored 24 touchdowns. The final touchdown of his Duck career was Oregon's only score in the tightly contested 1958 Rose Bowl game with Ohio State. Jim hit the ground running in his first year in Eugene. In 1955, he carried the ball for 711 yards, 10th best in the nation, and he led the Ducks in receiving. Shanley was Oregon's most valuable player in his senior year and co-captain of the Rose Bowl participants. He won several All-America honors that year as well. His rushing, scoring, and 3,000-plus all-purpose yards still hold up in UO's all-time top 10s in various categories. True to the grinded-out nature of Len Casanova's offenses of the era, Shanley racked up all those yards without ever achieving a 100-yard game. Jim's prowess at returning punts earned him a spot in the NFL with the Green Bay Packers. He stayed in the game after his retirement as a player, coaching with the legendary Jim Sweeney at Washington State. A constant on the field as a player, a consistent achiever, Jim Shanley is Oregon's Iron Man of record. Jim Shanley. Hello, Jim. Have a seat, sir.
Okay.
A true Iron Man in the history of Oregon Duck football. And I guess there's nobody that plays both ways anymore, are there? That I know of.
I don't think so. You know, two-platoon football now is here to stay, I'm sure.
What prompted that at the time? You played both ways.
I think it was all about money back in those days.
Ooh.
You know, we had a squad of about 45 people.
Yeah.
And the squads today with two platoons are probably
special teams and all that. You never had that.
Yeah, they're approaching 100.
Yeah. You strapped it on, you played both ways.
Yeah.
What was it like in the Rose Bowl at the time when you were there?
Well, that's 50 years ago. That's,
I understand. I have a tough time remembering too. Do the best you can.
Well, you know, it is an event obviously every January 1st that comes back to mind a great deal.
Right.
And you think about the what ifs. It was a great game, maybe the best bowl game of the season that year.
Yeah.
And you know, there's just a lot of great memories about it. You know, full stadium, playing the national champions, and coming within that close of winning it all it was quite an honor.
I said in that little piece there, the grinded out nature of Len Casanova's offenses of the era. What was that like?
Well, in those days, you ran the football. You didn't throw it too much. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I think in the Rose Bowl, would we throw it 15 times, something like that. And that was a lot. And it set a Rose Bowl record. Jack had a great game. Ron Stover set a Rose Bowl record in receptions. But that probably was the most we'd ever thrown it that year.
Wow. His rushing, scoring 3,000 plus all-purpose yards, and that still holds up. Wow, it's pretty good.
Well, you know, when you look at some of the players today, they like the 1,887 yards of total rushing, or total yards for 3 years. Some of the players are doing that every year. So the specialization in football today has really improved the game.
The Iron Man. What does that do to you when they say Iron Man Jim Shanley?
You're the first guy I've heard say that. I don't know.
That's what it says here. No. You played both ways.
Played both
But
ways,
that's good.
right?
Yeah.
Well, you know, obviously when you're playing both ways, you don't have the energy to go in there and have 12 guys trying to get part of the tackle. You might, when you see it back in those days, you see somebody making the tackle, you didn't go in and pile on. You kind of rested.
The final touchdown of your Duck career was Oregon's only score in that 1958 Rose Bowl game. Can you remember that one?
Yeah, I remember it well.
Take us through that. Score the touchdown.
Well, you know, it was just a basic option play that we ran. Jack Crabtree, our quarterback, who was the outstanding player of the game at that game, came down the line, faked inside to Morris, and pulled it out and decided whether he was going to run or pitch, and pitched. And Charlie Turville was out as the flanker back, and he did a great job screening the corner off from coming up. And so it wasn't that difficult of a score. It was well blocked and well played.
What do you think of football today, Jim?
I think that it's fantastic what they're doing today. When I saw the University of Oregon play Michigan and play so well, I said that night, and then the next week we had an opportunity to have a Rose Bowl reunion where the Rose Bowl team was back on campus, and Mike Bellotti invited us in to meet the team, which I was very impressed with that group of young men, by the way. But I told them, and I really meant this, that I think that game, they were the best looking Oregon team that I had ever seen. And they could run the ball, and they could throw the ball, and they did it all. So that was good.
Well, in your day, you did it all, and you're an icon. There is no doubt about it in the legend of University of Oregon football, and it's a delight to officially indoctrinate you into the State of Oregon Sports Hall of Fame, and I'm going to do that right now. Jim Shanley, University of Oregon, the Iron Man. You are officially into the State of Oregon Sports Hall of Fame. Congratulations.